We've got several, and I believe all of them are here today, so I'm grateful for that. And the first one up is going to be Dr. Dan Eichenbaum. Dr. Dan, there you are. Come on up. Dr. Dan has something a little special too, so we're actually going to hear from Dr. Dan again, as Dr. Dan is world-renowned famous for his cheesecakes, and he's donated one, but we'll let him talk about that later. We're going to let him talk about his candidacy right now. Thank you, Dr. Dan.
It's a pleasure to be back here again in Madison County. When I was here the first time, it was kind of early in the campaign, and so a lot has gone on since then. I'm Dr. Dan Eichenbaum, and in the tradition of our founding fathers, I'm standing up for election to Congress from the 11th District. Our country is controlled by a gang of interchangeable thieves and liars who sacrifice principle for political expediency and run for office for personal gain. Career politicians and unnamed, unelected bureaucrats seem to think that they have the right to steal your wealth and my wealth in order to create and fund entitlement programs whose primary purpose is to reassure the re-election of the incumbents. That is what we have to stop, and that is our mission. While I was standing in the food line, I was standing next to a gentleman named David Freeman. You probably know him, and what drew me to him is he had an incredible hat on. I remarked on his hat because, as you probably know, or may or may not know, we breed, raise, and train horses, and I have a hat that was very similar. So we got to talking, and one of the things he said to me is, you know, that NAFTA treaty that Bill Clinton put in effect, it caused us a lot of job loss here. And I said, you know, that NAFTA treaty caused us a lot of job loss down in Cherokee County as well. We lost Levi Strauss, we lost Lee Jeans, and American Thread. And I think that what that shows is what happens when you let the government intervene in what should be free market decisions. The free market will allow us to have sustainable job growth. You want jobs, it will only come by getting the government getting out of the way. That's the most important thing that the government can do, is nothing. Just get out of the way and let free market rule. You know, we've seen a good example of that this week. The president has been having his health care summit and going through all that kind of machinations. He's coming up and he's giving you a plan, and he's saying, this is the plan, and if you don't agree with me, you're the party of no. Well, I'm sick and tired of being called the party of no because I have solutions. The Republicans have solutions. The problem for Mr. Obama is that our solutions are based on the free market. If we allow the free market to run our health care, then we will have true solutions that matter to us. Let me give you a quick example of that. Wouldn't it be better if each of you owned your own health care insurance policy? Why should your employer own it? Wouldn't it be nice if you could shop across state lines? That way, you would be able to choose the coverages that you need for each individual thing that you want. Another very important thing are these tax-free health savings accounts. That is one of the most incredible mechanisms that we could use so that everyone would have enough money for health care. But the most important thing is you could control those dollars. The government doesn't want that. That's why this whole health care issue is nothing more than a bid for government control over every aspect of our lives. I don't know about you, but I like being free. I like having the freedom to make decisions for me. I don't need a bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. telling me how to live my life. I don't need a bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. telling me what car I can drive, how much gas I can use, what kind of electricity usage I can have. I don't need someone from Washington, D.C. coming into my bathroom and putting a little thing in my shower so I can't take a decent shower. But that's where it's going if we let the Democrats and the progressives in our government continue to run the programs here. I got confused with this 1 minute. I thought that meant that I had only 1 minute into the speech and I got another hour and a half to go. Anyway, look. This document right here is the one that is the most important thing all of us can read and all of us can understand. I just got back from Atlanta, Georgia, and I was at a 10th Amendment conference. The 10th Amendment is what we can use in our state to take back the power to the people is where it belongs. And that was the theme of this conference. That's why it's so incredible to see our local candidates here. Because what we have to do when we get to Washington is say, we're not going to do any of this stuff. It's not in the enumerated powers, Article 1, Section 8. It's not in the 10th Amendment says you can't do it. That means it's up to you people here in your state houses and you people in your local communities. You are the ones who have to take charge of your own lives. It's not up to the federal government to do it. So I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I am Dr. Dan Eichenbaum, and I am standing up for election, a proud American who believes in the Constitution, limited government, individual freedom, personal responsibility, fiscal restraint, and a free market economy based on the principles of sound money. Thank you.